and every day I don't know who I'm gonna find, yeah.
Non-flow living, you know the direction. I stay winning, you been changing your projections. Probably cause I'm chasing that perfection. Gallo on the beat, shit bang, Smith and Wesson. Call this weird flexing, we here testing. Elevated sounds, yeah, give me your impressions. I don't even need to say what I really got. Motherfuckers see the numbers every time I drop.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Madden Doctor back again. Got a brand new setup for you here out of the nickel over G formation. Defensive tackle walking through untouched. This is nothing new as far as play and formation goes, but I got the newest setup. We all know there's been a lot of patches out since August. This is something I labbed up back in August. It was actually still one of my most successful videos. It's sitting at like 15,000 views right now, which is a lot for this channel. And I was actually on Twitter yesterday. There's my Twitter handle. Drop me a follow on Twitter. I put a lot of Madden information on there, a lot of NFL information, but I follow a lot of MCS guys on there. One of the guys tweeted yesterday that he literally runs nickel over G stock cover 3 sky for his tournament defense. Somebody commented like, I thought you were joking, but I took this into a draft champions game and it dominated. So it got me thinking, maybe it's time I lab up a new blitz out of this play. The old setup still works, still brings pressure, but not nearly as good as it did when we could QB contain. So I got back in the lab. I figured out the best setup. Screams off the edge. Doesn't matter if he's blocking a running back or not blocking a running back. I got setups for both. So enjoy this one, fellas. We'll dive into the setup here, and I'll put some gameplay footage at the end for you. Nickel over G, we're going to run it flip still. So what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to base the line, we're going to pinch the D line, and then our point of attack, we're going to slant them inside. That's L1 and down on the right stick. Point of attack slant inside, and that's crucial actually, and I'll show you why here in a second. In my original setup, we were spreading the linebackers. Now we're going to pinch the linebackers, which still flips them, but it allows this guy to stay a little bit further inside, and that's the same linebacker that we're going to blitz. That's it for the setup. The rest is just adjusting the position. You don't really have to change the zones. You can shade back up, put him in cloud flats, but I always like to move that corner a little bit further outside, and then if he's got trips or bunch to the right side, I like to bring that safety in. And as you've probably seen in my previous videos, you can man that corner up over there as well. And then that linebacker that you put on that blitz is going to loop to the outside. And that's why you got to pinch the D-line and crash them inside. If you don't crash them inside or slant them inside, if you put your line's point of attack on any other angle, it changes the linebacker's blitzing angle. The only way to get him on that looper outside is to crash your D-line inside. Then the last part of this blitz is just to leave that right of screen linebacker that you're going to use her in a yellow zone and hover near the line of scrimmage. You saw the D tackle slip through untouched in the beginning of this video, and that's because I was able to get the O-line to engage me, but when he's in a yellow zone, it lets you slip away real quick and run back into cover. So let's go ahead and run this play. Come down a few steps towards the line with that user, and you see the other linebacker loop through untouched off the edge. I'll run it one more time here with the running back on a route, and then we'll dive into the blocked running back footage, and I'll show you some draft champions game footage at the end of this little 3-play mini scheme working in game, both versions of the blitz plus the coverage. So here's the great part about this blitz, fellas, is if he is blocking the running back, actually there's a lot less adjustments and it's easier to set up, and I think it actually gets through more efficiently. So when you come out, if he's starting to block his running back, you don't have to do any shifts with the line. You don't have to move the linebackers. You literally just come out and blitz that square linebacker right off the rip. Next thing you're going to want to do is blitz this corner. He's a safety right now, Jabril Peppers. Put him in a blitz, and then the nice thing about this, guys, is we're going to move him out a few steps. You would think the closer he is to the line of scrimmage, the closer he is to the quarterback, the quicker he's going to get in. That's actually not the case. You actually want him a few steps off the line of scrimmage and a few steps back. Right about where he is right there on screen. And this is going to work out perfect because in setup number 1, we move him back a few steps anyways just to put him in coverage, to give him leverage. So it's going to look uniform. It's going to look the same. But you definitely got to move him a few steps outside and a few steps back. If he's too close to the line, it really gets jumbled. It's way too congested. You guys start tripping over themselves. But if you get him back a few steps and a few steps outside, he really loops through untouched, I'd say at least 70% of the time. And then take notice of the coverage adjustments behind here. I got the cornerback on the left of the screen in a soft squat. I changed the safety top left to a deep third on the left side of the field, and then I put that linebacker, the right of screen linebacker, into the deep blues. And then the last thing you want to do is we're going to user the defensive tackle on this setup instead of the D end, so you can actually substitute in a faster defensive end here. I wouldn't stress too much about it because you only got to use it for a few seconds, maybe take away his first read before this blitz gets through. You can bluff blitz him, but actually this setup I find it a little bit more efficient to put him in a QB spy and then make sure you're holding that left trigger at the snap of the ball. And just sort of hover here, try to drift a little bit down and right before you go into coverage, and you'll see Peppers there screaming through untouched. Occasionally the looper will get picked up, but then the D tackle or the defensive end will slip through. That wraps up the scheme part of this video, fellas. We'll end the video with some in-depth draft champions footage of this scheme working. Check me out on Twitter, a lot of information on there. Also, check out my Patreon page for more in-depth tips and tricks. For $2.99 a month, you get 20 to 30 offense and defensive plays. And then for $5.99 a month, you get full ebook every month. Currently got the New Orleans Saints on there. This month, we're doing Carolina Panthers. Other than that, we're going to dive into the gameplay. If you're not going to stick around for the gameplay, I appreciate you watching. Drop me a subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Turn those bell notifications on so you never miss an upload. And enjoy the